Hey there, and welcome to a crash course in not being terrified by your bank statement. The world of finance can feel like a secret club with its own language. Words like amortization, derivatives, quantitative easing get thrown around, and it's easy to just nod along while your brain quietly exits the conversation. It feels complicated, maybe even a little boring, and definitely designed to make you feel like you don't get it. But here's the secret. You don't need to be a Wall Street wizard to understand the basics of money. The most important concepts are actually pretty straightforward once you peel back the layers of jargon. Understanding them is a superpower, giving you control over your future. So today we're going to demystify some of this stuff. We're going to take 12 of the most common, most important financial terms and break them down into plain, simple English. No confusing charts, no intimidating formulas, just simple definitions and real-world examples that you can actually relate to. Think of this as your financial Rosetta Stone. By the end of our little chat, you'll be able to navigate conversations about money with a newfound confidence. This isn't about getting rich overnight, it's about building a foundation of knowledge so you can make smarter decisions buying a coffee, saving for a car, just thinking about the future. It's your money, and you deserve to understand it. Our goal here is simple, to turn confusion into clarity. Let's dive in and stop being confused by money, once and for all. Let's get started. Alright, first up is net worth. This sounds fancy, but it's really just a financial selfie. It's a snapshot of your financial health at one specific moment in time. Imagine you took everything you own that has value. We'll call those assets in a minute and sold it all for cash. Then you took all the money you owe to other people, your liabilities, and paid it all off. The amount of money you'd have left over, that, my friends, is your net worth. Here's a real-world example. Let's say your name is Sarah. Sarah has $2,000 in her savings account, a used car she could sell for $5,000, and some cool vintage furniture worth about $1,000. That's a total of $8,000 in things she owns. However, Sarah also has a $3,000 student loan and a $500 balance on her credit card. That's a total of $3,500 that she owes. To find her net worth, we just do some simple subtraction. $8,000 minus $3,500 equals $4,500. So, Sarah's net worth is $4,500. Now, don't panic if you calculate your net worth and it's negative. That's incredibly common, especially for students or recent graduates who have student loans. Think of it less as a grade and more as a starting line. The goal isn't to have the highest net worth tomorrow. The goal is to see that number trend upward over the long term. As you pay down your debts and increase your savings, you'll see your net worth grow, which is a fantastic indicator that you're moving in the right financial direction. It's your personal progress report. So, we just mentioned the word assets when talking about net worth. Let's zoom in on that. An asset is simply anything you own that has monetary value. If you could sell it for cash, it's likely an asset. This is the stuff you own side of the net worth equation. House, car, a stack of cash, smartphone, money in a savings account, stocks in a company. It's also useful to know that assets can be categorized as either liquid or illiquid. For example, the money in your savings account is very liquid. You can withdraw it almost instantly. Your house, on the other hand, is an illiquid asset. While it's very valuable, it could take months to sell it and get the cash. Understanding this difference is important for managing your money, especially when you need cash for an emergency. Now for the other side of the net worth coin, liabilities. If assets are what you own, liabilities are what you owe. A liability is any debt or financial obligation you have to another person, company, or institution. Imagine our friend Alex. Alex just graduated and got a great new job. He has a student loan, he bought a car with a car loan, he bought a laptop on his credit card. He used a buy now, pay later plan for sneakers. Each of those is a liability, a promise to pay someone back in the future. Liabilities can be short-term or long-term. Short-term debts are due within a year. Your monthly credit card bill is an example. Long-term debts stretch years or decades. Think mortgages or long student loan plans. You don't need zero liabilities to be healthy. You need to manage them. Paying down loans and credit cards reduces liabilities and increases your net worth. It feels powerful and satisfying. Okay, let's shift gears to something a little more magical. Let's talk about compound interest. Albert Einstein supposedly called it the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. Compound interest is the interest you earn not only on your original money, the principal, but also on the accumulated interest you've already earned. It's kind of like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and bigger at an ever-increasing rate. This is your money making money, which then makes even more money. Here's an example that will make your jaw drop. Let's say you invest $1,000 in an account that earns 10% interest per year. After the first year, you'll have earned $100 in interest, so your total is $1,100. But in the second year, you don't just earn another $100, you earn 10% on the entire $1,100. That's $110 in interest. So now you have $1,210. In the third year, you earn 10% on $1,210, which is $121. The extra money you earn each year might seem small at first, but over time, the growth becomes exponential. This concept is the absolute bedrock of long-term investing and saving for retirement. It's why financial advisors always say to start saving as early as possible, even if it's just a small amount. Someone who starts saving $100 a month at age 25 will end up with vastly more money by age 65 than someone who starts saving $200 a month at age 45. Of course, it's important to remember that compounding can also work against you. This is what happens with high-interest debt, like on a credit card. If you only make the minimum payment, the interest charges get added to your balance. Your debt snowballs in the wrong direction. This is why paying off high-interest debt is so critical. We are flying. We've covered some serious ground. Let's pause for a quick recap. Net worth, assets, liabilities, compound interest. These four concepts form a powerful base for your personal finances. Now let's add a fifth crucial idea. This next term is diversification. You've heard, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's diversification in a nutshell. It means spreading investments across different asset types to reduce risk. If one investment performs poorly, others may perform well and balance things out. It's the opposite of betting everything on a single stock. It's a strategy for playing the long game. Imagine you have $1,000 to invest. Diversified, split the $1,000 up into different asset classes for balanced growth. Our next term, inflation, is one you've definitely been hearing about a lot lately. In the simplest terms, inflation is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising, and subsequently, the purchasing power of currency is falling. To put it even more simply, inflation is the reason that a candy bar that cost a quarter when your parents were kids costs over $1 today. It means that the same amount of money buys you less stuff than it did in the past. Your money is slowly, silently losing its value over time. Think about it like this. You have a $20 bill. Today, that $20 bill might buy you a movie ticket and a small popcorn. But if inflation is running at, say, 5% per year, then next year that same movie ticket and popcorn might cost $21. Your $20 bill is no longer enough. It hasn't changed, but its power to purchase things has decreased. This happens across the entire economy, affecting the price of gas, groceries, rent, and almost everything else. This is precisely why just stashing cash under your mattress is a bad long-term strategy. If you hide $1,000 under your bed for 20 years, when you pull it out, you'll still have $1,000. But that $1,000 will buy significantly less than it did 20 years prior. This is also why it's so important for your savings and investments to grow. Your goal should be to earn a rate of return that is higher than the rate of inflation. If inflation is 3%, you want your investments to be earning more than 3%, just so you're actually increasing your wealth in real terms. Let's talk about liquidity. This might sound like a science term, but honestly it's a really simple financial concept. Liquidity describes how quickly and easily an asset can be converted into cash without losing a significant amount of its value. You can think of it as the spendability of your assets. Cash itself is the most liquid asset there is. You can't get more liquid than money in your hand. This concept is super important, especially for financial emergencies. The money in your checking account is highly liquid. If your car breaks down and you need $800, you can get that cash almost instantly. A house is definitely valuable, but it's highly illiquid. Selling a house takes months and involves fees. You need a balance of both liquid and illiquid assets. You need liquid assets for emergencies, while the rest of your money is invested in less liquid, growth-oriented assets for the long term. Next up is a big one, your credit score. This is a 3-digit number, typically 300 to 850. Think of it as your financial report card. It's a numerical representation of your credit worthiness. In plain terms, how reliable you are at borrowing and paying back. Lenders use it, banks, credit card companies, landlords. They use the score to decide whether to lend and what interest rate to charge. Higher score equals lower risk, equals better loan terms, and lower interest rates. Two friends, Maria and Ben, want car loans. Maria, score 780. She pays on time and has a long credit history. Bank offers 4% interest. Ben scores 620. He missed payments and carries a high card balance. Bank offers 11% interest. Over the loan life, Ben pays thousands more for the same car. Your credit score directly affects your wallet. It can affect getting a mortgage, renting an apartment, getting a cell phone contract without a big deposit, even getting a job. How is it calculated? Tracked by 3 bureaus: Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. 5 main factors: payment history, amount of debt compared to limits, length of credit history, types of credit you use, and new credit inquiries. The number one thing: consistently pay all your bills on time, every single time. Okay, let's talk about the B word: budget. For a lot of people, this word feels restrictive, like a financial diet where you can't have any fun. But honestly, that's the wrong way to look at it. A budget is not about restriction, it's about intention. A budget is simply a plan for how you will spend your money. It's you telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it all went at the end of the month. Imagine you get a paycheck for $2,000. Without a budget, that money just sits in your account. You spend some here, some there, and have no idea where it went. With a budget, you plan ahead. $1,000 for rent, $300 for groceries, $150 for transportation, $100 for phone bill, $200 for fun and entertainment, and the remaining $250 goes directly into savings. The most effective budgets are realistic and flexible. A good budget includes money for your needs, wants, and future goals. A budget empowers you. It helps you see where your money is going, identify overspending areas, and achieve goals like getting out of debt or saving for a down payment. This brings us to a concept directly related to budgeting and liquidity: the emergency fund. An emergency fund is exactly what it sounds like: a stash of money set aside specifically for unexpected financial emergencies. This is not your vacation fund or your new car fund. This is your "oh no, the transmission just died" fund, or your "I just lost my job and need to cover rent" fund. It's a financial safety net designed to catch you when life throws a major, expensive curveball your way so you don't have to go into debt to survive. Let's consider the classic scenario. You're driving to work and your car starts making a horrible noise. The mechanic tells you it's going to be a $1,500 repair. If you don't have an emergency fund, your options are pretty grim. You might have to put it on a high-interest credit card. But if you have an emergency fund with $5,000 in it, the situation is completely different. It's still annoying, but it's not a financial catastrophe. You can simply pay for the repair and work on rebuilding your fund. So, how much should you have in this fund? The standard rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months worth of essential living expenses. This includes things like rent, utilities, food, transportation, and insurance. The bare necessities you'd need to survive. If your essential monthly expenses are $2,000, you'd aim for $6,000 to $12,000. That number can sound intimidating, but you can start small and build it up over time. Any amount is better than nothing. Where should you keep this money? You want it safe and liquid. The best place is typically a high-yield savings account, separate from your everyday checking. Having a fully funded emergency fund is one of the most powerful steps toward financial security. It transforms financial panic into manageable inconvenience, giving you incredible peace of mind. Let's talk about the future, like the distant future. That's where retirement accounts like a 401k or an IRA come in. A retirement account is an investment tool specifically designed to help you save for the day you no longer work. The key feature is special tax advantages to encourage saving. A 401k is offered by employers, while an IRA you open yourself. Here's how a typical 401k works. You contribute a percentage of your paycheck, say 5%, taken out before taxes are calculated. Many employers offer a match. They might match 100% of your contributions up to 5%. This is free money. Once invested, thanks to compound interest, this money grows over decades in a tax-sheltered environment. The money you invest in your 20s is the most valuable you'll ever save. Every dollar at 25 has much more time to grow than at 45. Think of it as paying your future self first, ensuring comfortable and dignified retirement. Our final term is capital gains. This one sounds technical, but the idea is very simple. A capital gain is the profit you make when you sell an asset for more than you paid for it. It applies to all kinds of assets we've talked about. Stocks, bonds, real estate, a piece of art. If you buy something and its value goes up and then you sell it, the difference is your capital gain. It's the reward you get for making a successful investment. Let's break it down with a straightforward example. Say you buy one share of a company's stock for $100. A few years later, the company has done really well and the stock is now worth $150 per share. You decide to sell it. Your capital gain is $50 profit. It's important to know you don't have a capital gain until you actually sell. If the stock goes up but you hold on to it, that's unrealized. You only realize the gain once you sell. Now, why does the government care? Because capital gains are considered taxable income. When you earn that $50 profit, you'll likely have to pay a portion in capital gains tax. The tax rate often depends on how long you held the asset. Short-term gains are taxed at regular income rates, long-term gains at lower rates. This encourages long-term patient investing rather than rapid trading. Understanding this can hugely impact how much profit you keep. It's not just what you make, it's what you keep. And there you have it, 12 key terms that can transform the way you think about money. We've journeyed from the personal snapshot of your net worth to the profits you make from capital gains. But look at you made it. This knowledge is your foundation. These aren't just abstract words, they are the tools you will use to build the life you want. You are no longer on the outside looking in, you're an active participant in your own story. Here's a final recap. Net worth, assets, liabilities, compound interest, diversification, inflation, liquidity, credit score, budget, emergency fund, retirement account, capital gains. But please don't let this be the end of your journey. Let it be the beginning. There is a whole universe of financial knowledge out there. Read books, listen to podcasts, follow reputable financial educators online. The more you learn, the more confident and capable you will become. You've taken the first, most important step by being here and being curious. You've decided that this stuff matters, and you're right, it does. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Money Street 101 for more finance basics made simple. New videos every week.